This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
Welcome back to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Goodrich, and with me is my very handsome co-star, Frank Chafin. And I have so many great friends, and Frank, you know, that's the fun in doing this show because I get to share my good and very talented friends with all the folks that are at home. And one of my talented friends is Max Yoho. Do you know Max and Carol by any chance?
No, I do not, but I know who they are.
Of course, because and soon you're going to know who they are. Max is such a talented writer, hysterically funny. His wife, Carol, has been a good friend for a long time. She's involved in the Silent Film Festival and a lot of other projects, a very talented photographer, sells her work. But Max writes about his boyhood, basically just growing up in a small Kansas town. So lots of stuff that all of you can relate to, that, you know, so many of us can relate to. His stories, though, his language, the characters that populate his stories, they are masterpieces and comedy. And if you're ever having a down day, pick up a Max Yoho book, and I guarantee you, you'll feel a lot better. Few authors capture the rural flavor of Kansas more colorfully or humorously than Max Yoho. Award-winning author Don Goldsmith said of Max's book, The Revival, "It is an experience somewhere between Huckleberry Finn and Booth Tarkington's Penrod and Jasper. Actually, any man who has ever been an 11-year-old boy, that is most of us, can relate to or identify with coming of age in a small Kansas town." Born in 1934 in Colony, Kansas, Max grew up in small towns. Moving with his family to Atchison at the age 10, he soon learned that delights and adventures along the Missouri River awaited just outside the well-oiled hinges of his bedroom window screen. Max graduated from Topeka High School and attended Washburn University, where he was a feature writer for the Washburn Review. After a 38-year career as a machinist and being left a widower, Max retired to begin a new career as a writer. The Revival was his first novel, and it was soon followed by Tales from Comanche County. Reviewer Laurel Johnson said, "Tales from Comanche County is humorous fiction, a hilariously skewed version of history, religion, science, and Kansas life in general. The Old West, of which Kansas was a part, grew up on tall tales such as Paul Bunyan and his blue ox Babe. I would not be one bit surprised if Babe and Bunyan lived in Comanche County." The book features an old man with a skewed education in history and religion, and he looks back to summers spent listening to stories on the front porch of his Uncle Jack's ranch. In the story, cattle rustler Leafy Danford lies moldering in his grave. The Emperor of China has come to grief. A soft-shell Oklahoman met his maker while riding a unicycle. Why? Yoho will tell you they just plain didn't get their dadgum bob wire over the creek before midnight. Other novels followed, each as rollicking a good time as the last. Felicia, these fish are delicious. The Moon Butterroot, with the Wisdom of Owls, and Me and Aunt Izzy. Me and Aunt Izzy is set in southeastern Kansas, the Little Balkans, where a young man is sentenced to moral rehabilitation in the company of his great-aunt, Queen Isabella of Spain Johnson. On the ride over to her house, the father informs the boy that the aunt attends a church where they handle snakes. The boy is mortified, but his father adds, "Maybe they will just start you out with worms." Take a lazy Sunday afternoon and treat yourself to one of Max Yoho's hilarious accounts of rural life in Kansas. A warning though, buy 2 copies, because if you loan one, you will never get it back, and once you read it, you will want to share.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.